to you. I'm Patryce Bryant, and I am the host of While We Wait. Today, I am on a special assignment to promote this book, You Are a Gift by John Bentley. John Bentley was an amazing special guest on While We Wait, and I loved his passion for what he was doing. I am a part of the official launch team for You Are a Gift, and I am here to assist John Bentley with getting at least 1,000 books sold by December 10th. Will you help me? This is a book of tragedy to triumph and then the courage to use his journey and testimony to bless people who need to get an understanding of how to conquer. He has done this for himself, and this is a great read. This is a book of empowerment. This is a book of how to understand, how to move forward when life has hit you so very hard. Amazon and Barnes and Noble is where you can get this book. Why don't you help me help John Bentley reach his goal of selling at least 1,000 books before December 10th? And you know what? It's a wonderful thing because the proceeds from this book will go toward providing education and treatment programs to help mothers overcome prescription drug addiction. He tells the story in this book of how his daughter died of prescription drugs and how he had to find how to move on with life. Help me. Or even it's a great gift. How about buy one for you and purchase one for someone else that you love? The holidays are here. Let's help John. John is a wonderful man. Look him up, John Bentley. He's a leadership coach, he's a speaker, and an author. Remember, be strong, be wise, keep enhancing your life while we wait, because you are a gift.
I stay wise. I live here my life. I stay strong. I stay wise. I live here my life. I stay strong. I stay wise. I live here my life. While we wait.
Hey, 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 I'm Patryce Bryant, and I am the host of While We Wait. We're so excited that you're here today. Today, we are celebrating veterans. And if you're a veteran and you are on While We Wait today, please type your name and say that I am a vet in our comment section because we are celebrating you. Let's pause for a moment for a salute to our veterans and to those that are still serving in America. Well, I do apologize. We're having some technical difficulties. But I want to say to all of our veterans, we do salute you, and we are so glad that you're here. Today is just a day that I have spent time calling and interviewing veterans and just wanting to hear their voices, to thank them, but to also just ask them about some things that are happening in America. Before we talk about it, let's bring out my co host, Michelle Perry. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, 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 and thankful Thursday is where I'm at.
I know that's right. Gratitude all in the place. So
All over.
always it's I have to say I'm so grateful, and even after speaking to some of the veterans that are dear to me and just hearing what they had to say, it just it's amazing. But
It's
I'm just so
stunning to
grateful.
me.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and and I teared up different times, and I'm like, how does this even happen in America? We're one of the wealthiest countries, or the wealthiest country, and like, how does that happen when you put your life on the line? And so anyway, we're talking about some of the broken promises, or the broken promises by America. Don't get
Mm.
me wrong, I'm not bashing America. I love America. I'm glad to be an American. So many people come to America because the opportunities are here for sure. So I'm not bashing America at all, but I am looking at some injustices with many of our systems. But today we're talking about when veterans come home, that transition back into civilian life can be pretty devastating. So if you bear with us, we're going to go backstage and we're going to watch a quick video, just to give us a sense of what really goes on when someone finishes their time in the military. So, Michelle, we'll be right back, right?
I'm looking forward to it. I
Okay.
really am.
All
I'll
right.
give you the truth. Yep.
Yeah, we will be right back. Hold on.
Trying to reintegrate back in society was a hard process, a lot harder than I thought it would be. My name is Tito Ramos. I served in the Marine Corps from 2006 to 2011.
I was in the U.S. Army for 7 years, and I was deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan.
I am a United States Marine. I served in Iraq from 2006 through 2007.
I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I served from 2002 to 2012, served in Iraq and Afghanistan, 3 tours in Iraq and 2 tours in Afghanistan.
I served in the Marine Corps from 1999 to 2004.
I'm currently serving in the United States Air Force. I've served 5 tours overseas, 1 to Kuwait, 3 to Afghanistan, and 1 to Africa. I joined right out of 18. I grew up in LA, not a pretty good neighborhood. For me, it was joining the military was sort of an outlet just to get out of that situation.
I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve this country, a country that has given me and my family so much, especially being a son of immigrants to the U.S. It really meant a lot.
It also gave me a way to grow up, learn, see who I was, and challenge myself, really.
These are people that come from all different walks of life.
They're all part of a team. We're all a family.
It's a beautiful, multicultural mix of people who come together and love and support each other and, fight sometimes to the death with each other. One thing I learned the most from my deployment experiences is that, you have a voice. Everyone has a voice, and you have a responsibility to speak your truth.
I realized, damn, I really love my family. Everyone, my brothers, my sisters, my parents, and we didn't get along before I left. I realized how important they were. So I learned a lot about that, about myself, the kind of person I want to be, the kind of husband, the kind of father I wanted to be, and what kind of leader I wanted to be.
Realizing that the world did not really necessarily revolve around America. Everyone had their own cultures.
I learned that it's tough on families. It's really tough to just get up and be away for, anywhere from 3 months to a year.
Getting out of the military is very, very hard. I don't care if you serve 4 years or 40 years in the military. It is a very, very hard transition.
Hardest thing about returning to civilian life, especially coming back from a deployment, is just the adjustment period. When you deploy, you sort of have to detach yourself from everything. But when you return, it's kind of jumping back into that mode. It's sometimes not easy to do.
Another lady at work walked up and said, "Oh, are you going to go all sergeant on us?" was like, what do you mean? Like, yes, I was a sergeant. I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, are you gonna go just start yelling at people and hitting us? I was like, why would I do that? Like that makes no sense. Like, they don't understand. Yes, I was in the Marines, but no, I don't bring it all back with me. I'm not, even in the Marines, I didn't just yell at people or just hit somebody because they were wrong. I'm an adult. I just don't do that.
I still don't sleep. I get maybe 2 to 3 hours of good sleep a night. Screams never go away.
At times it feels like, oh, you were in the military, you know, you're not as smart as other people, or, you know, you've experienced these things, so you must be broken.
Give them some time. They're always going to be hyper vigilant. Help them use that internal energy and move it towards a very positive goal. Short-term goals. You set short-term goals and you start completing those one at a time, and then you realize, holy crap, I just graduated from Cal.
Oh, so
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
much we could unpack from that. So much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm Patryce Bryant. I'm the host of While We Wait. This is my co-host, Michelle Perry, and we're so glad to be here today. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. And hello to my podcast listeners. We are on today talking about the broken promises by America to our veterans. And we've just watched a video of some veterans who came back home and had to make that transition period. So what you heard, if you're on listening to the podcast, were the voices of veterans who were talking about it is not easy to come back home and to jump back into their normal life, if you will.
And what's striking is that the diversity of the people that spoke,
Mhm.
all races, genders, colors, ranks, and they still had a very similar voice about their experience, which is so interesting.
Absolutely. Um, I had the opportunity today to contact some veterans that are very dear to me, and I just wanted to ask them their take on, you know, what was their sense, what was their take, what was their voice in this, and I got um, that there is now. Well, one of the things is there's such a difference between, the different eras of serving. So there's different things, but the same thing. Um,
Yeah.
so some of it was that there's a lack of care, a lot of times because of PTSD and injuries.
And for those who don't know, post-traumatic stress disorder is what PTSD stands for.
Thank you for that. Yes, some people can't work or hold down jobs. They're stripped from the life that they know. They're dealing with they said dealing. My vet friends said that dealing with the VA is horrible.
Yes.
And that he now deals with a private practice. And I'm like, well, how does that, it just doesn't make sense to me, because you served, and then the promises that were made, and you
would think that the value system that we talk about in America and that we state would be followed up with behaviors and actions, which is not always the case. Now, my grandfather he's 101.
Wow.
And I found his honorable discharge paperwork.
Oh, wow.
From World War II, and he was born in 1920, and so he's quite the gentleman. But it's so interesting, you talk about the VA. This is his discharge paperwork.
Oh my
which is
goodness.
a copy. Obviously, he has the original. But when you talk about dealing with the VA, he's 101, still getting his veteran benefits and everything, and medical and all of that. But it's not an easy system to navigate. And you would think that there would be more support, social workers, therapists, people just to help navigate the system, which is not as efficient as it could be if we poured money and time into it. And so it's just so interesting how these people continually sacrifice their time, their youth, their energy, their lives, and what they come home to is not always, on that equal balance scale. And it's stunning to me.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. One of the veterans said, that that they need to keep their word and to honor their word to the vets or to anybody that goes into the military. And I asked this question because I had heard this before. You know, a lot of times they're trained to become this killing machine or this warrior. And, you know, after their time is over, there's nothing to transition them back or to undo what was done. So then, you know, we've seen tragedies and, you know, violence happen or people snap. And, you know,
Well, but
you're conditioned to be one way, and then there should be some kind. For
like
instance,
we're
I
humans. Like it's not a light switch that you turn on and off, right?
thank you.
And your social skills and your social interactions, if you're trained to do a job and a skill, which you are in the Army and the Navy and the Marines and the Air Force and all of the different aspects of military life,
Branches. Hmm.
you are trained to think a certain way, to behave a certain way, to respond a certain way, and they change your brain, right? Your chemistry, your emotions, sometimes your
Absolutely.
personality. And then when you are finished with your time and your service, everybody says, "Oh, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for your service." You know, you see
Hmm.
people clapping at the airport.
Sure.
But then who sits with the vet and takes the time to work with them through those emotions of what they've seen and heard and experienced and regain those social skills and those emotional, you know, skill sets that they had before, maybe didn't have before, to
Sure.
integrate back into what all of us call society, right? And the reality of interaction and social interaction, because it's not as easy as just flipping a switch and saying, "Oh, just go
No.
ahead and get over it and do it." It's not
No.
like that.
No. 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 I mean, even the program that I run, once they get down to their last year in the program, there is a transition period where I pull them closer to me. I assess them. Okay, so where are you now? What are the needs? What other resources? What else can I do to assist you with? You know, we're going away. You won't have the benefits of our program. So, what do you need? And I have seen where people did not utilize that transition period. And I mean, it's different, but the same. So I can't imagine. Um,
Yeah, and you would think after serving that they have an expectation of being served, and rightfully so, you know,
yeah, yeah,
and it's not given back, and there's an expectation without education or facilitation, and that is just wrong. It's just wrong.
it is wrong. It's wrong. And if you're on today and you're a veteran, please chime in right in the comment section. We want to bring you into the conversation. Michelle, I'm going to pause right here because this next clip is, I didn't even know it existed.
Mm.
It's just absolutely crazy. So just hold on one second, everybody. I'm going to play a video about Veterans Row, which I didn't
Ooh.
even know existed. So hold on one moment. Thank you.
You know, it's not the same America it was when I was a kid. Things have changed a lot.
Rob, you are helping the veterans here.
Yes.
You know the history of Veterans Row.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So we had been raising concerns about homeless veterans on San Vicente Boulevard long before Veterans Row went into place with the large tents. In 2019, there was veterans out here sleeping all over the sidewalk. There was never any outreach or anyone really paying attention to them. I was actually inside the VA going through a combat treatment myself, and I didn't like what I was seeing out here. I had went through it when I came here to get services as well. And so we were making complaints to the VA Inspector General office. There's like a White House hotline for the VA that you can call. Multiple different agencies. No one was doing anything. We started going to these federal advisory board meetings and bringing the veterans with us, just trying to figure out why people weren't answering the concerns of the homeless veterans. At that time, you know, we met some people in the community and some Vietnam veterans that explained to us the history of, you know, this land fraud that's going on here. And I myself didn't really understand the relation between not taking care of the veterans and misappropriation of the land.
Yeah.
But
it's been so.
Yes.
I have worked here as a case manager, and I used to bring veterans down here to the hospital, and we're talking 10 years ago,
Yes.
and there was always homeless vets out here. It almost looked like a science fiction movie. Like you would see that you go to a military hospital and there's all these injured outside.
Yes.
And it was very overwhelming that nothing was being done to help them.
Yeah.
And that seems to be continuing.
That is unbelievable.
I don't know how.
Unbelievable.
I have no idea how it even happens. We're like a wealthy country, and these are the people that put their life on the line for us. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand because America's not broke. I don't care what it looks like. America's not broke when there are lotteries and Powerballs, and you go to the malls, you still see people shop. And America is not broke. Um,
No, well, the value system is broken based on the evidence of where we put our money. Because you look at the lowest paying professions, the teachers, social workers, the vets, money is not poured
Firefighters, police
into.
officers.
Yeah, police officers, and I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch, so forgive me.
That's
But
okay. I understand
my point is that if we really cared and valued
the value.
Americans, we would put our money where our mouth is.
It's the
Even the Bible
value.
says where your treasure is, there's where your heart is. And
Well, we
so it
see
speaks volumes that we have in 2021. And I had never
2020.
heard of Veterans Row either.
I did. Like,
People
how do
living
we
like
have
that.
that? How do we have that? How does this grouping of people have nowhere to live, cannot get good medical assistance,
Their
um,
basics: food, shelter, housing,
and this,
interaction with. I mean, they have community because they're together, but it's just the word stunning. I can't get away from it because I'm just stunned that in 2021 that this exists. It's so neglectful. And these people should be honored for
yeah,
what they have given for this country, for us to live as comfortable as we do. And
come
yet
on,
the honor is not there. Where's the honor?
you tell
And
me.
it's just a shame. It's a shame and it's a stain.
Statistics say that 1.4 million veterans are at risk of homelessness, and I didn't get the full number of how many are in fact homeless. It's just super sad. Um, I don't I don't know. I don't know how. I just I'm
It takes
almost
your breath
lost for
away.
words. Yeah, I'm like lost for words. Um, I believe what has come out of this for me. Well, one of the things. Let me go back to this. As I interviewed, right for that. Come on, America. As I interviewed veterans that I know today, I was informed that there's no government assistance. There's no government assistance for a lot of this. They're all private agencies. And he was saying, how is there even was it a Wounded Warrior Foundation? Like, I mean, thank God for all of the things that they do, but they can only reach a certain amount of people. Um, why is not? How come the government is not helping those who served? That
In the government. They serve in the government, right? And then the
hello.
government just there's nothing when they get out. Like that's just so disgraceful.
It really is. It really is. And I believe where I'm at now, I see this is another opportunity for acts of kindness. Um, take
And
care of the people you
implementation of
allow.
gratitude, implementation, taking action. If you say I'm thankful, thank you
Yeah.
for your service, there should be an action or behavior that follows up with that. Whether that's a smile,
Yeah.
it doesn't always have to be money. Whether that's a genuine conversation to let that veteran know, I see you. your humanity and your sacrifice matters to me. And is there anything I can do? Can I buy you lunch? Can I, something?
Yeah, yeah. Fidette says, take care of the people you allow and send to fight your wars. And I know many of them come back with, all of these wonderful medals. But what does the medal mean after I get out and I can't live? Oh, which brings me back to another point that one of the veterans said that, the person, the individual goes into the armed forces, their family is back here, they can't make ends meet. So, do you really think that that person that's serving is in full focus? Especially, even if they're in war, they're thinking about their family. Like, how can, yeah,
Yeah, it takes your breath away. And on top of that, just coming from a mental health perspective, the things that they see and experience and are expected to integrate into a life experience without the support when they get out is just phenomenal, because it's easy to look at someone who's living on the street and judge or make assumptions. But when you start to talk to these people and you start to talk to these honorable people who have served, and you hear the stories and the things that they've witnessed and the price that they paid,
yeah,
it's so humbling, and it really just causes you to want to do something, anything that you can.
yeah. And a lot of people don't know how, they can't express. Just like on the video, one of the videos, the gentleman said, he said the screams don't go away. So you can't undo what you've experienced. You still, yeah, you need help with that. I just want to go to one of he was a sergeant, if I'm not mistaken, a friend of mine. Um, he said the process to make corrections to your records can be equally as hard. Let me go back to the first thing. He said, I can say that the process to file a VA claim can be long and cumbersome. You almost have to make it a full-time endeavor to be successful. Additionally, the process to make corrections to your records can be equally as hard. They make it very difficult to speak to the person that can make decisions and help. So you can't even get through to people for assistance. Like,
Well, let me tell you something that I've experienced. So, as an insurance professional, in corporate America, and dealing with bodily injury auto claims in my past roles, we would have to deal with the VA, because some of the people who got hurt in car accidents were veterans, and they had VA as their health insurance, and it would take years, not months,
what?
years, to settle their injury claims because we couldn't get records from the veteran, the VA. They, people change, they don't answer the phone, they don't do the letters, things get, I mean, it's a horribly broken system, similar to the child welfare system, but these are adults who have given so much of their life
Yeah.
and their service, and just, yeah, it's incredible.
So that we could be in the comfort of our home and
And not have to think about it,
instant,
and not
and
have
it's,
to know about a veterans row, that there are people on the street when they don't have to be.
yeah,
We have the resources, America. We
yeah,
do.
we do, we do. Um, which brings me back to those acts of kindness. I really believe, I know we're coming into the holiday season, and I'm going to do some research because there's got to be something that we can do. And yes, prayer is wonderful. And when we see them, thanking them, they do appreciate it. But there's got to be something. I believe there's one place I know we have even here in Connecticut that you can, give your clothes to, but there are other things that we can do. I don't know all of them right at the moment, but I am moved to find out what can we do. Somebody's got to care. There's got to be an advocate somewhere because this is incredible. And I
And even
know
just one person doing something, it matters. Like, sometimes it can get overwhelming. Like, what can I do? It's such a huge problem.
you can do
So,
something. Yeah,
exactly. And one person, that ripple can flow out in that body of water that we call humanity and make
sure.
a difference.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a very I just had an emotional day just thinking about it. And I teared up a couple of times as I was speaking to the veterans. And though the ones I spoke to have had some bumps, but not like a lot of people that have nothing, can't feed their families, need need help with their mental health. And It's just a
It's
lot.
a lot. It's
It's
a
a
lot.
lot.
But even just, and like the gentleman said, the screams don't go away. And there's some things that they don't have language for or
Sure.
can't talk about.
Sure.
And that's okay, because even just, I say this in my book, and paying attention to people and their humanity and letting them know, even if there's no words, and you just sit there and say, I'm here, I see
Yeah.
you. You
Mhm.
don't have to say a word, you don't have to tell me, but I'm here, I support you, and I'm grateful for you. And
Yeah.
that is so meaningful, especially to someone who is unseen and neglected. It matters so much.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for those that are popping on. I see my dear Dr. Jeff Valencio. I see Cynthia Slaughter. I see my sister Fadette, Angela Butler. Thank you all so much for coming on. Bev and Carla, thank you so much for coming on. And Beverly saying sometimes a thank you goes a long way. It's so true. A genuine thank you is heartfelt, and so if you're feeling it, they can feel it.
Yeah.
But just we can't just throw away veteran. To be thrown away. Oh my God! It's like I gave you all of this and I get nothing. Like, why did I even do it? Like, I really want to understand what are the promises that are being made um, when you enlist, and you okay, I think I know at one point you would get, I forgot what it's called, but you were able to use something towards a home.
Well, I know
I'm
my grandfather, and this was back, he enlisted for World War II, but I know that they got, and there's the what is it called? The where they pay for college and you get
college
money for a down payment for the
for your,
home,
yeah, yes,
and then
yes,
the
yes,
pension,
yes.
but again, yeah,
It's not working. Not with, if you see that many people, and we didn't even for a veterans row, it's something's broken.
yeah.
Something is broken in America, and anyway, I'm going to do some research. I just want to know what in my area, if we all in our area would just look to see what is there that we can contribute to for veterans. I believe they so deserve it. Um, a thank you audibly, but also a tangible thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, and even like a visiting program, you think about the elderly too. Um, Someone who just is demonstrating that you are valuable to us,
yeah,
and we acknowledge you.
yeah.
That makes such a difference, and it goes so far. And then if you have the resources, then donate, whether it's clothes, money, food, time, whatever, your gifts. Um, yeah, there's something that everybody can do, and it's so important because veterans, they pay such a high price for us,
Yeah, their
and so,
life.
and we don't know about it. It's that unsaid, unspoken,
Oh
but it's a
yeah,
high price. It's a high price
it's a high price. They're paid less than civilians, and it's their life, their little literal physical self
for
that's
being. You don't get that time back. Once
no,
time has passed, you go in as a 20-year-old, you come out even as a 30-year-old, and you're
hopefully
changed.
you
You're
come out.
different.
Hopefully
If
you
you
come
come
out.
back, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So for that saying that she donated her last car to veterans, I want to get some more information because maybe someone can do that. I mean, so there are things that we can do. Bev
And
is
there are
saying that
corporations that do that too, as well. I know my full-time job, we do that. We donate cars every year to the veterans.
that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Beverly is saying veterans are mainly recognized on Veterans Day. And I'm going to say yes, Bev. And sometimes it's so quick, it's like a blink. It's just like for the sake of the day. Just but it's kind of routine. And there's you know and I know sometimes Dunkin' Donuts will give a free coffee, and I mean that's nice. You know, I'm not knocking anything that anyone is doing, but
But what happens the day after? It's like grief. When you're going through grief, it's like everyone's there at the height. So when they come home, there's the celebrations, there's the parades. We're so glad you made it home, or the funerals, and they have a very elaborate way to celebrate, and to honor those. Memorial Day is for that. But um, then what happens the day after, the week after, the month after, the next year?
yeah, yeah. So I want to say to all of those who have served in the armed forces that you are not forgotten.
Mm.
Even if we are just two, you are not forgotten. Your life does matter. And
We see you. We
we
acknowledge
see
you.
you. Prayers out to your family and to your situation. praying that ways be made. I will certainly add veterans to my regular prayers. Now that I have been made aware. So I want to pause. I was able to find my video real quick as Michelle was
Okay.
talking. So I want to pause for a salute to our armed forces, to the veterans, and to those who are still serving. So you
Yes.
just pause with us. We'll be right back. Hold on. From the halls of Montezuma.
It sounds so happy, doesn't it? All the music sounds so happy.
I can't play the rest of it because of time, but to every veteran in whatever branch that you served in or are serving in, we salute you. I want to thank Facebook and YouTube and for all who came on today. And I just want to come back to uh, You Are a Gift. This is
Yes.
a wonderful book. And also, if you're looking for gifts, also The Pebble in My Shoe. So if you're looking for gifts, these are two powerful books, easy reads that will bless your life or the life of your loved ones. So Amazon, you can definitely go to Amazon and I forgot I actually have both of these books downloaded. I could have just put them up, but anyway, they're in my hand. You see, they're dear to my heart. And I want to say for you, You Are a Gift. I am a part of the official launch team. They are in their pre-launch, and I am helping John Bentley get to his first 1,000 purchase copies sold um, by December 10th. So if you would purchase one for you and also get a gift, but also get The Pebble in My Shoe, these are great gifts and stocking stuffers. These are great reads, and they're books that will enhance someone's life.
And the You Are a Gift book, just to co-sign with John
Mhm.
Bentley, the proceeds are benefiting a foundation that
Yes.
goes to help mothers who experience addiction. And
Yes.
so it's such a good cause. And if you missed the powerful conversation with John last week, I encourage you to scroll back if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube. Go back a week. If you are on the podcast, go to the previous episode, listen to that conversation to hear John's heart and
Yes.
some of his story and the wisdom nuggets that he dropped. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And the book is just phenomenal. It's not a typical book. You will be blessed by it, and you will also be helping to empower an organization to help mothers who experience addiction. So it's a worthy cause. It's a
Yes.
read that will enhance your life. Go pick it up. I think also you mentioned in your video that his book is available at Barnes & Noble as well. So Amazon, Barnes & Noble,
Amazon and
or his
Barnes and
website,
Noble.
youareagift.com, I believe it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is, and it's a story of from tragedy to triumph. On one of his wedding anniversaries, he found out that his daughter OD'd of prescription drugs, and yeah,
Left behind a small child, and
there's just
yeah.
so much in there. But to see how that whole process, yeah, I'm just going to say, yeah, it's
How
something that
emotional.
it really is. It
Yeah.
really is. And you'd wonder how can this be a gift? Well, read the book and you'll read the book and you'll find out. Get that book. You are a gift. Well, guys, our time is up today for While We Wait. Michelle, thank you as always for riding with me. I want to thank everyone that showed up today for While We Wait. Thank you so much. We've got some great things in store for 2022. You want to keep coming, showing up for While We Wait. Remember, be strong, be wise, keep enhancing your life, because life is worth living while we're waiting. Have a great rest of your day.
I stay wise. I live wise.